Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Houston Sharpshooters Draft to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 22. So in the last episode, we took on the Dallas Stars in the first round of the playoffs, and we managed to beat them in 6 games. Despite us being down 0-2 in the series, our team rallied back and started playing really good offensively, and our defense was also pretty damn good. As you can see, the first 2 games, we allowed 10 goals combined. One of these games was from Park, the other one was from Benson. But then we went back to Park, and he played phenomenal throughout the last 3 games, only allowing 5 goals in those 4 games. And then our offense just was amazing. In this 8-1 game, Gene Thornton had 6 points, and then he had 2 points in the last game of the series as well. So our top 6 is going, which is good. And our power play has still been struggling like last year in the playoffs, but we are in the round 2, which is good. And we're taking on Nashville, who is kind of an interesting team. They finished 45-30-7 during the regular season. They went 2-7-1 going into the playoffs, which is a little bit scary. Our team looks better defensively for sure. Goaltending-wise, they definitely have the upper hand. And then forward-wise, I'd say it's kind of evenish because we both have kind of weak bottom sixes. As you can see, this is our team going into round 2. Looks pretty good. And then obviously our defensive core is still as strong as it's ever been. Goaltending-wise, looks a little bit questionable, but they do simulate pretty good, it seems like, so far. But if we look at the Nashville Predators roster in comparison, they're a pretty interesting team. They actually have a very good top 6, I would say. Might be one of the best top 6s I've seen from an AI team, because this guy's got potential and whatnot. But that third line is pretty weak. That fourth line, I would probably move up to the third line if I was them, to be honest. And then that defensive core definitely could use some work, and it hasn't been that great of a defensive core in the regular season, but who knows, maybe it'll be good in the playoffs, so hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, Lorenzo Riley is definitely their best defenseman. And then goalie-wise, you can see they're running a guy named Travis Hamonic, which is kind of funny, and Caden Primo is their backup, so should be a pretty interesting second round. I really hope that we could beat them, because if we can, we could go back to the conference finals for the 3rd straight season. That'd be really nice, because I'd like to get back to a cup finals again, like I said. We do have some former players still in the playoffs as well, as Kyler Morales is on to round 2 with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Soderstrom is on to round 2 with the Columbus Blue Jackets. So should be interesting to see if any of those guys get a chance at the Stanley Cup this year or not. But anyways, let's get into round 2 against the Preds. We're on a 4-game winning streak, so hopefully that can continue here into round 2 against this Preds team that, like I said, didn't really do good defensively in the regular season, and their penalty kill is not off to a good start this year, or this playoff year so far. So hopefully our power play, which has been struggling, could get going against this team. So here you go, game number 1. We've been kind of struggling on home ice so far. Let's see if we could take a 1-0 series lead here. First period, down 2-0. That's not good. Starting off the series pretty similar to last series. Dubois scores both goals, so that's the 4th liner, which is kind of weird. Seems like their 4th line is just outplaying ours, which kind of makes sense because ours is not that good. Shots are 12-8 in favor of us, but we're down 2-0. So Park not playing as good as his last 4 games, so we might have to change to Benson for next game. I don't really know, but I'll probably take out Park if he plays good or plays bad next game or something like that. Second period, 3-1, not terrible. Jaskleinen scores a power play goal to pull us within 1, but Alfredson scores, and we're now 3-1. So it's good to see our power play convert, but we need to start finding ways to score more goals on Hamonic, and we need to keep that puck out of the net. So hopefully we can score a couple goals here early in this 3rd period. Penalty kill, and they score another power play goal. It's Alfredson again. And then Kapitanov pulls us within 2. Can we get back in this again? Penalty kill. Our penalty kill has been pretty terrible as well in the playoffs. Ortiz scores a power play goal to pull us within 1. Let's go. And Patan ties it up. Okay, this team is all of a sudden really cooking here in this 3rd period. Power play for us. We don't convert. So we are down 4-1, and we have forced overtime with a 3-goal comeback in the final 16 minutes. So I was not expecting that at all. This team has been full of surprises this playoff run so far. Considering like I said, we were down 2-0 to Dallas in the series, and we won 4 straight. Wasn't expecting that, and definitely wasn't expecting this in game 1 either. Shots are 34-33 in favor of Nashville, but we have a tie game 4-4. Who's going to get that OT winner? Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Patan, I don't know who we want to call on. Power play for us. We don't convert. Ortiz? Maybe Thornton, and it's going to be Thornton. Let's go. Of course, I call on the guy and he scores. Thornton's been amazing this playoff run. And it's kind of scary because his contract comes to an end this offseason. So if we lose him, he might be a detrimental blow to this team. Shots were 41-37 in favor of us. We come back from a 4-1 deficit and win 5-4 in game 1. And we're now on a 5-game winning streak, which is kind of cool. Jaskalainen from Seadu and Thornton, Capitano from Burns and Hedman, Ortiz from Thornton and Burns, Batan from Afinasenkov, and Thornton from Ortiz. So Thornton literally with like a 3 or 4 point game again. Yeah, 3 points again from Thornton. So in his last 3 games, Thornton has a 6-point game, a 2-point game, and a 3-point game, which is actually insane. So yeah, Thornton's definitely stepped up this year without Morales, which is definitely what we needed from him. A lot of guys with 5+ shots in that game too. So that's good to see. Goaltending from Park wasn't great, but we will keep him in net considering he just won that game. Hopefully he could kind of find his footing that he was having in those other 4 games against Dallas a little bit. But here we go. Game number 2, still on home ice. Let's see if we could take it 2-0 series lead here on the Preds, because their offense is going now here. So first period, 1-1, I'll definitely take that. Pasquale scores. He didn't have the best first round, I would say. He only had like 2 points. But obviously when your top 6 is scoring like 6 points and stuff like that, your bottom 6 is going to kind of take a little bit of a hit offensively. But he manages to score here in game 2. Leslie tied it up at 1 apiece. Shots are 14-10 in favor of Nashville, but it's a 1-1 game. Second period, 3-2 Nashville, not great. Houston made it 2-1 for them. Thornton again, Jesus. Thornton is legit like a hero in this franchise mode right now. Tied the game at 2, but Houston again scored, and we're now down 3-2. Shots are 29-20 in favor of them, so they're definitely outplaying us this game. I don't fault Park on this one so far. So we're trailing going into the third for the second straight game. Can we tie this game up and maybe force overtime or get the lead? Power play here early in the third. We don't convert. Come on, boys. And Radish makes it 4-2. That's not good. And Burns makes it 4-3. Okay, we're still within 1, and we have tied the game up again after we were down 4-2. Geez, this team just keeps coming back. Pedersen makes it 5-4 though for them. Can we tie it up again? Who wants to tie it up? Burns, Seadu, somebody? Nobody apparently. Houston gets his hat trick on the empty netter. Suzuki also gets an empty netter, and we lose 7-4 in game 2. So that was not a good game, and that ends our 5-game winning streak. We are close to winning that game, but then those empty netters kind of piled it on. But yeah, our top 6 has still been producing pretty well. But we need to find a way to shut down Houston, Rodney. I think that's their second line. So we got to find a way to shut them down. And I think I'm going to take Park out of the lineup for next game because he's been bad in the first 2 games. So I think he needs a break because maybe he's just one of these goalies that can't play like 5-6 straight games. He needs maybe a little bit of a break. So I won't play him for this first game in Nashville, which might be a bit questionable, but I think he needs a little bit of a rest. And he kind of deserves it after how he played in the first round. So let's go back to Benson, who was terrible in his first ever playoff game, but maybe he'll bounce back in this next game. Who knows? And I'm trying to see if we want to make any other changes. Kapitanov has been good, but Thornton seems to be scoring a lot without him. Don't really like the third line and fourth line stats in terms of plus minus. Let's just flip-flop some lines around a little bit on that bottom 6. Any defensive pairings that are minus? Not really. Yeah, we'll go to Benson for this game and see how Benson could do. And if Benson can get us back in the series or not. Because it's a 1-1 series, so we're not out of the series. But that way we played that last game is kind of questionable. And our way of our defense has been playing, it's not been great either. Actually, I should address the power play lines, because our power play has been struggling at times. So I think what we're going to do is move Ortiz up, move Seadu to the second unit. Kind of split up some of the big players. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. And we'll see if that could get our team going a little bit more. So let's get into game number 3 as Benson starts for that in Nashville. See if we could take a 2-1 series lead here. And then we'll go back to Park potentially next game. First period, 3-0 us. So a very good opening period. Lucic scores his first ever playoff goal. Sedin scores, and Burns scores. Actually, Lucic might have scored last round. I don't remember if he did or not. But we're up 3-0 after one, so definitely a very good first period by comparison to last game in general, allowing a lot of goals. But this has been a pretty offensive second round for the most part. Shots are 13-9 in favor of us. Second period, we're up 5-1. Let's go. Jacobson made a 3-1 game, but Afanasenkov and Kapitanov score. And we're up 5-1 going into the third period, so we should pretty much just be able to lock this one down, hopefully. But, yeah, good to see our offense is getting going again. Like, our offense has actually been pretty good in these first two rounds so far. It's just more about getting that bottom six to make sure they don't allow goals and whatnot. And Burns makes it 6-1, so a very good game so far from Benson. And we're going to win 6-1 in game number 3. I'm not sure if we should keep Benson in net or not. So Sedin from Afanasenkov and Jaskalainen, Lucic from Scuderi and Petan, Burns from Sedin and Thornton, Afanasenkov from Forster and Pasquale, Kapitanov from Teratugian and Burns from Kapitanov and Sidu. So Kapitanov's also been really good. Seems like a lot of the guys with their contracts up. So Burns gets first star, Benson the second star, and Kapitanov the third. Do we stick with Benson for next game until he stops playing good? Or do I go back to Park? You know, I'm going to trust Benson again. Because both of them are the same overall. We might as well just keep like kind of alternating the two of them until one of them doesn't play good. Because I think that makes the most sense. So, yeah, I think we're going to go with Benson. That was a very good first playoff win from him. And we're going to keep the rest of the lineup the same. I could move Kapitanov to the top line considering he's been doing good. But that second line has been pretty good, so I want to keep it kind of the same to an extent. So let's get into game number 4 and see if we could take a 3-1 stranglehold on the Nashville Predators. That'd be really nice if we could do that. It's been a very offensive series for us for the most part. Let's see if we could keep on scoring. First period, down 2-0, not good. Benson seems to be maybe not the type of goalie to play multiple games in a row, so maybe we should have went to Park. We'll probably definitely turn to Park for next game if he can't win this game. But it's 2-0 for Nashville. Shots are 12-11 in favor of us, but we're down by 2 goals. Second period, 3-2. Okay, that's not too bad. They were up 3-0. And then we get 2 power play goals from Hedman and Sedin, so our power play is picking it up a little bit. And we're only down by a goal again, so we're almost coming back, it looks like, from a 3-0 deficit. Can we tie this game up in the third period? Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Yes, Jaskalainen. This team has been really good in terms of coming back in games. Like, I'm really impressed. It's a 3-3 game. Jaskalainen scores again. I love Jaskalainen so much. But Alfredson ties the game back up at 4. Come on, boys. Jaskalainen is a GOAT. And hopefully he can continue being a GOAT. Thornton maybe wants to score? No. We're going to overtime in game 4. So if we win this game, we go up 3-1 in the series, which is really nice. If we lose this game, it's a 2-2 series headed home. We're out shooting him 38-30. It's a 4-4 game. Let's see what happens in this overtime period. Power play early into overtime for us. We do not convert. Come on, Jaskalainen. Hey, somebody scored, and it was Ortiz, and we're up 3-1 on the Preds, and 1 win away from going back to the conference finals, which I'm kind of not expecting that, but it is what it is. Shots are 45-31 at the end of that game, but Ortiz with the game winner. And that was another close game for the most part. The first 2 games were close in the series. The last game was not that close. But we managed to rally back multiple times. Like, we were down 0-3 in this game. We made it 4-3, then they tied it up, and then we won in overtime. And Jaskalainen picked up a lot of points. Sidu picked up a good amount of points as well. So, yeah, it looks like the same type of guys are always on the score sheet, which is really nice, though. I like that consistency. So, Sidu, Jaskalainen both had 3 points. Ortiz, Forster, Sedin all 2 points, and then a couple points from some other guys. Any badly minus players? Scuderi was a -3. So, yeah, that fourth line is not really doing that well. It's not great. And, yeah, Benson didn't really play that good, but he got the win. But I probably will change to Park for next game just to give Benson some rest. So, Jaskalainen the first star, Sidu the second star, and Pettersson the third. But, yeah, Jaskalainen really stepped up in that third period, as he usually does. But yeah, I think we're going to turn to Park for next game. You know, Benson has won 2 games in the series. I just need Benson to get some rest, because if he doesn't get rest, he will end up getting blown out, and our team might lose confidence from that. So let's go back to goalies and go back to Park and see if Park is ready and well to go. And we will keep the rest of the team the same, I think. So that second line is okay in plus minus. But yeah, that fourth line isn't. So I think I'm going to move Scuderi back up, move Ifinisenkov back down, just to kind of change a little bit up. Even though we are up 3-1 in the series, I just want to make sure we could get those bottom 6 players playing a bit better defensively, not being minus all the time. But one line has to be out there for all the offense against pretty much all the time anyways. So here we go. Game number 5, I guess? Yeah, wait. Yeah, game number 5. Let's see if we can win this series and head on to the conference finals. Come on, boys. First period. We're down 2-0 again, so we're trailing for like the 3rd or 4th straight time, or not 4th straight, but we've been trailing a lot in this series, which is kind of scary. So I'm kind of scared that this team might not still be as good as it says. But we're down 2-0 after 1. 2 goals on 8 shots for Park is not good. I was hoping he'd get some rest, but apparently he didn't. So maybe we have to go back to Benson next game if Park can't hold his game for the rest of it. Second period, 3-2, and we are back in this game just like last game. Okay. So Cons made it 3-0, but Patain and Hedman score, and we're back within 1 again. Can we have another historic comeback in the playoffs? Because this team has literally came back like 3 or 4 times, I think, already, if I'm not mistaken. Shots are 19-17 in favor of us, but we are down by 1 goal as Patain and Hedman have our goals. Let's see if we can tie this one up here in the 3rd. Come on, boys. And Pedersen makes it 4-2. That's not good. Yeah, I might go back to Benson next game and maybe make some line changes. Kapitanov pulls us back within 1 again, but Alfredson makes it 5-3. Hedman makes it 5-4. We're still in this game. Can we get the tying goal? Who wants to be the hero for us? Come on, boys. And nobody's going to be that hero as we fall 5-4 in Game 5. So not a great defensive game, but our offense still is producing, which is good. But I think I'm going to turn back to Benson for next game, because the 3 starts in this round for Park have been all pretty terrible. So hopefully we can win this game, and hopefully we don't all of a sudden lose 3 straight, because I could see that happening potentially with the way we've been winning our games. Let's go back to edit lines, and we're going to just try and flip-flop some stuff around again, try and get our team a guaranteed win here. Let's go Blacker back to the top pairing, and we will go back to Benson for this game, which might be questionable as well, but Benson's been the better of the 2 goalies in this round because he's been winning games at least. So here we go. Game number 6. This is a crucial game. We lose this game, we go to a Game 7 on home ice. We win this game, we go on to the conference finals. Come on, boys. Let's keep that offense rolling, and let's get that defense playing good. First period, 2-2. I guess I'll take it. They were up 2-0, and Sidu scores a power play goal, and Ifinisenkov tied the game up. Shots are 12-7 in favor of us. Second period, still 2-2. I'll definitely take that. Shots are 26-19. And it's a tie game, so this is definitely a close game just like last one. Can we get a goal to go ahead here in this 3rd period? Come on, boys. Who do I want to call upon? Let's call upon Jaskalainen. 3rd period underway. Power play. And we don't convert. Penalty kill. And they score a goal right afterwards. Janicki. Come on, boys. Let's tie this game back up again. Or else I might have to do some drastic line changes. Penalty kill. Nicely done. We need 1 goal to tie this up. Please, boys. 1 goal. Hey, Scuderi scores. He has not really scored that much in the playoffs, but it is a 3-3 game. We are going to another overtime situation. We're out shooting him 37-28, but once again, we're going to OT. Can we escape with a victory here in overtime? Come on, boys. Who wants to be that hero? And yes, we can. And it's Kapitanov, and we are going back to the conference finals for the 2nd straight season. Let's go. Or not 2nd straight season, 3rd straight season, right? It might be a 3rd straight season. Yeah, I think so. But once again, we have battled back in games, and that has been the difference in this playoff run. As we were down 0-2, we made it 2-2. We were down 3-2. We tied it up late. And then Kapitanov with the game winner. Let's go. 3 stars, Tikhonov, Taratukin, and Afanasenkov. But we are going to the conference finals. Who are we going to be taking on, I wonder? It's going to be the Oilers. That's going to be definitely pretty tough. Didn't we take on the Oilers last year? Or not? I think we played the Oilers at one point, but maybe it was a few years ago. Maybe it was a different series, I don't remember. But let's take a look at our playoff stats and our player stats throughout so far. And we'll also do a look at the Edmonton Oilers lines and compare the two of them. So let's take a look at our player stats. So Burns has been awesome so far. 15 points in 12 games. He's definitely stepping up. Jääskeläinen's been a little bit quiet as compared to last year, but he could be because he's getting older. I don't really know, but he's still over point per game. Ortiz is almost point per game. Petan's under point per game. And Pasquale's been pretty quiet. So, yeah, our bottom 6 has definitely not been that good, but still pretty good from the centerman. Left wing-wise, Thornton, 15 points in 12 games. Most of that was in the first round, I think. So he's kind of slowed down a bit. Seadoo's point per game, which is good to see. Forster's been pretty good as well. 7 assists on that third line. Lucic, 4 points, not too bad. Kapitanov's been pretty good over point per game. Afanasenkov, 5 points. And Scuderi, 3 points. So basically in terms of our forwards, the ones that are producing, 4 of the 5 have their contracts up for renewal this offseason. Which is kind of scary when you think about that. Defensively, Sedin has been our best defenseman, which is kind of weird because he doesn't normally put up a lot of points. But his last 2 playoff years, he's been pretty good. It's interesting. Taratukin kind of slowed down a little bit that round. Hedman's really stepped up, actually, in that round. He only had 1 goal, I think, going into the second round, so very nice from Hedman. Yip has been good defensively and offensively a little bit. Blacker's been kind of quiet, and Roach has been kind of quiet, but Roach is pure defensive defenseman. Blacker's an offensive defenseman, so I don't know what's with him. And goaltending has been kind of iffy at stages, but at least they have wins, so it is what it is. And we found a way to get ourselves to the conference finals. So let's take a look at what the Edmonton Oilers look like. And then we'll take a look at a comparison in the playoffs and also in the regular season to us. And then that'll be it for this episode. So the Edmonton Oilers have a very old Leon Draisaitl and a very old Connor McDavid. Both of them dropping off. Both close to retirement probably. They also have Heponiemi, second line Borgo, Milstad, and Rick Hawley, who scored 71 goals this year. So, yeah, that's kind of scary. Third line has Lindbergh, Vikingstad, and Kunin. And a fourth line of McMichael, Larson, and Sidor, who used to play for us. That's what I thought. Caden Sidor used to play with us, played a couple years in the AHL, then we had to let him go. And he's been a solid fourth line option for the Oilers. Interesting. But yeah, that's still pretty good forward core. It's kind of interesting to see McDavid and Draisaitl dropping off a lot. Definitely gives us a better shot, but obviously McDavid still puts up a shit ton of points. And yeah, Hawley's a really good goal scorer. He's got 7 goals in 10 games. Draisaitl's been good. So their offense in general has been really good. Defensively, they got Burrows and Soderstrom, Yoki Haru and Viro, and Samorukov and Yermo. A lot of Finnish players on this defensive core, actually. Yoki Haru, Viro, and Yermo. And then you got Samorukov and Soderstrom are both like Russian and Swedish, I think. Goalie-wise, you have Jeremy Swayman and Charlie House as their backup. Depth-wise, they have Louis Simard and Kasper Simtomovil. So overall-wise, I'm not really sure what to make of their team. They definitely will put up a lot of points and a lot of goals because McDavid and Draisaitl and Hawley. But the rest of the team, like Milstad and Kunin, are pretty good. The rest of them are kind of average, I'd say. And then defensively, I think we have the upper hand currently. But who knows? They definitely have the goalie upper hand at the moment. Let's take a quick comparison to the regular season and also the playoffs so far between us two teams. And then that'll be it for this episode. So team stat-wise, let's go to the Western Conference and sort by wins here. So us in Edmonton, we've been scoring more goals than they have so far. They're much better defensively than us, which kind of makes sense because of goaltending and stuff. Power play percentage, they're much better than us, which also makes sense considering they have Hawley and McDavid and stuff. Our penalty kill has been better. Which is interesting. They have not lost a home game so far, and we have not lost a road game so far. So one of those two things is going to come to an end probably in next round. And yeah, it's pretty much that. How about regular season wise? How good were they? Like if we go to the Western Conference, they won the Western Conference. And they won the entire league actually with 117 points. So that's a little bit scary. They scored more goals than us, not a surprise. We were better defensively. They were better power play wise, not a surprise. And we were better penalty kill wise. So we're a better defensive team. They're a better offensive team, technically. Should be a very interesting conference finals to see who gets on to the Stanley Cup finals. Let's advance today just so we can get to that round. So yeah, winner of the series will face either Columbus, which has Soderstrom, or the Toronto Maple Leafs. Interesting. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Houston Sharpshooters Draft to Glory. So in next episode, we'll take it to the conference finals against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers as we look to go back to the Stanley Cup finals for the second straight season. So let me guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.